Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are showing you how to install our 6th gen 4Runner door skins, front and rears. We're going to try to put a few timestamps in the captions below on for certain pieces or like the cleaning process, so that if you are only stuck on a certain portion, you're able to just pull the timestamp over to the part that you need, watch it, and hopefully it's helpful enough that you can get this, these things installed properly for you. This is actually CBI's 6th gen 4Runner that has the portals, and we just finished a fresh wrap on it at a Wrap Matrix, and now we are correlating some door skins to complement the wrap, so that when they go to these shows, everything looks cohesive, looks professional, and it's just another spot that you're able to advertise. Show people what you can do. So what I just cleaned with, which is what I prefer to clean with, is the spray away glass cleaner. If you've put ceramic, wax, anything on these, you're probably gonna need to do a solid degreaser for these door skins to stick. Otherwise you will have lifting. If they're shiny at all, these are really nice and clean. They're matte. You can actually feel the texture on them. It doesn't feel oily at all. That means the door skins are going to stick really well. After the window cleaner, we're going to use some alcohol. 99% is ideal. If you have 70, that works too. For this, you'll want to go panel by panel, kind of let it sit for a second. And our door skins just sit on the face of most of these parts, so getting into like the crevices isn't super necessary, but if you're just wanting to do a good cleaning of the interior while you're at it, it's a good time to do that. It's getting cold here in Boise, Idaho, so everything is pulled inside. If there's space, we use it. So this is our inventory spot for a lot of our grills, decals, print machines, and everything. Make sure all the alcohol is dried up and off. Make sure you install these in an environment that's warm. If it's super cold, they're not gonna stick either. So I'm gonna grab my stool. I'll always start at the bottom, work my way up, and you're gonna want a heat gun or a torch of some sort so you can heat the vinyl to 185 degrees, allowing it to adhere properly. Okay, step 2 on our install guide talks about pinning this thing up on a flat surface. So I wanna show you guys how we do it. We like to pin it up on the vehicle either with tube magnets, or you can peel back some of the adhesive and stick it. That way you have full access to all the decals. You can follow the instructions, use the numbers, and pin everything up without having to work it on the ground or whatever. For step 2, this is what we're talking about. I think I already just talked about this, but I'm just gonna go over it. We wanna pin up what you're gonna be working on, whether that's on a flat table or up on a vehicle. This is where I always put ours. So when we do the front doors, they're pinned up right here. When we do the back doors, it's pinned up on the back portion of it. And that way you're able to just pluck off the decals and apply them without having to manhandle this thing on the floor. Plus you get to see all your parts, the pieces and the labels, so you can just pluck and install as you go. I will start at the bottom, which we kind of already started. I recommend having some sort of X-Acto knife and then a heat gun.
I would chat with Tyler. It's number 18 on the rears.
So this one, we're gonna center it up. What's nice is the stencil is like spot on. Okay, this is an important part that I want to highlight. So instead of just kind of pressing it, you'll see that it wants to crease. What you're gonna do is get it just a little bit warm, not much, just a little bit, and then you're actually gonna pull it around the edge. And what that'll allow is it'll eat up some of the excess material. So that way it folds flat. Then you'll start right here, kind of work the material up, just like that. And right here, I'll follow this body line. Just like that. I'm gonna work this down.
Hey, Brendan.
Fold this all the way over on the top. Covers that surface really, really well. Then the same thing down here. You just kind of work your way across. So if this is a spot that isn't installed, you can do a thumb, then you move down half a thumb, another thumb, you kind of want to angle it into the direction you're going. It'll feed the material downward and allow it to lay flat. What's really nice about these as well is if you don't nail it perfectly, you can use a razor blade like this to cut out a little piece or to trim an edge if you feel like it's hanging over a little bit. The tolerances on these are pretty dang tight, and so if you go over just a little bit or whatever, don't worry about it. Because in this part, you don't want to stretch it into this. What you'll want to do is just kind of line it up and install as you go down. And I would even heat this so it's already pre-shrunk. Allow it to cool a little bit. Same with this down here. And then fold this over. If you get a little part that wants to kind of fold up, heat it, let it cool, and press it down. Press that down. Okay, then this piece, what I'm gonna do, heat this up a little bit. And then we're gonna bend that over the edge. Fold it. Okay, so now we're gonna work on this upper section. What you're gonna wanna do is at every turn, you wanna put your finger on that area, kind of pull it tight, press it down. Then you're gonna come over here, pull it tight, press it down. Then this portion, you wanna do the straight section. Press it down. Then over here is where, if you want to, you can cut it, you can do whatever, but what you should be able to do is basically kind of lightly lay it down. If you get a little piece like that, I'll show you how to take care of it. If I pull this out, flatten that down. Heat allows this vinyl to shrink a lot. So as you can see, I'll follow along this edge. And then if you get something like this, don't automatically push it into itself. Kind of distribute it a little bit, because that's just tension. We won't want the tension all in one area. We'll want to kind of press it through the rest of it. Okay, now that we've got that all done, what we're going to do is go along the edge, and you can see that any excess material due to the heat and the type of material that we use for these door skins, it actually shrinks out. And it'll almost like wrap the edge all by itself, which is what you want. Okay, now with the post heating, there's a difference between getting it hot and hoping that it sticks and then actually post heating to the proper temperature. When you post heat to the proper temperature, you'll actually see the light texture come through the vinyl. I folded that one weird, so I want to come back and redo it. And I'll push it into that edge, fold it over. Okay, now that everything is down, I'm just going to start up and do a little section at a time. Heat it. You'll see the texture come through. You just don't want to get it too hot to where it wrinkles if you add pressure to it. Sweet. Okay, piece one is done. Now from here, we're going to transfer into here, up here, handle, and then the top. So let's get these two pieces in, and we'll keep moving along. Oh, these really are more difficult to see because What's nice is these are CBIs, and so they wanted a special design on theirs, which is always my preference. These things look awesome with the design on them.
It's just unlabeled.
Okay, this one, where I always set it, is you're gonna get back into here and you're basically gonna line it up onto this where maybe there's a 1/16 of a gap between the plastic and the vinyl itself.
But I don't.
Boom, just like that. So then I'll tack this. Then I'll kind of work my way down here. There's kind of a line in the plastic here. So I'll lightly set all that. Then I'll hold this out basically where I want it. Press through here. Push this into here.
It's also unlabeled and miscellaneous. It's right next to numbers.
Okay. Now, go through and post heat. Woo! Shit, it's hot. I need some sort of glove. Freak, it's hot. Okay, here we go. This one, your kind of marker point is this angled portion right here. So I'll get it all the way up to the top. Give yourself like a 1/16 gap. And when that all kind of looks lined up, I'll tack here because that's where the body line is. Just like that. Then we'll do is lift this, pull it down. That's sweet. Then heat gun's your favorite, your best friend. You can see here, yeah, there was a little bit of extra material. All I did is add heat and it wrapped the corner by itself. See that right there? Add a little bit of heat. Okay, now we wait.
None of the driver's side pieces have scuffs.
Here's a little bit of extra material. Watch those edges curl. Literally all that just like basically wrapped itself. And it's all sticking super well. Now we're gonna move on to, I think there's a piece for right here. Once you've installed so many of these, you really start knowing which piece is which. Oh, my bad. This is this piece. $14. Perfect. Okay, now I want to move to this piece, which is a single piece. So just be careful when you remove it because it's going to have these little squares in it. Huh. They weeded out so nicely. I line it up with this one. Then I kind of push up to line up the rest of it. But you want to make sure you don't stretch this piece, because if you stretch it, it's going to be really hard for it to retract back to where it was, and you'll end up just cutting this portion out and installing the parts around it. So now that the center great. Now what we'll do is we'll grab this piece, set that. You just want to make sure that this is all level. Down, around, great. I just want to press all those excess material out. And then we're going to get over to this side. Basically make sure you're lining up with the corners, because the straight parts will line up just fine. Corner. This part lines up perfect. Again, when it gets thin like this, don't stretch it. Be gentle with it. That. If you get a little something like that, just lift it, reset it. Okay, so now these parts where you don't want to get the wrinkles. It shrinks enough to literally wrap the corner all by itself. Really nice. Okay, now we're gonna do this piece, this piece, this piece. Let's do this outside one. It's a little square or a little triangle. What's nice about these geometrical shaped wraps, they line up a lot better than the topography ones that I feel like. So like on this, for example, I do think that someone maybe might start catching that, especially for this being a work rig. So if I wanted to, I'd probably cut that. But I don't think they have a lot of passengers in this truck. Okay, this is the interior piece. Number 9. Probably one of the harder pieces to install because it's impossible to get your hand in there. The most important portions to post heat and add pressure to are the edges. The center will eventually stick by itself, but the edges, if you are constantly touching it, are the pieces that might want to try to pop up. Okay, piece number 8. Cool. Okay, you can see that I did a little wrinkle right there. A little bit of heat. Comes out right away. Great. Okay, this piece, there's a body line right here, and you're going to want to line up that body line, and then also kind of the angle of it's going to wrap that body line just a little bit, but the most important part is that this angle right here follows the armrest, and then it hangs over that edge probably 1/8 of an inch, like that. Okay, this comes down Push all that down, lightly set it all. Okay, now we'll heat treat the center. We'll start up here. See that, how it just wraps it almost all by itself. Very nice. Okay. Pull this guy out real quick. It's our handle. Dang, the tolerance of this thing are pretty tight. Typically we like to give a little bit more of a tolerance, but I guess our designer said not on this one. Push that down and over. Again, this is one where if you feel like it's hanging over a little bit more, you can trim it a little bit. But I want to say it fits really, really well. If you want to trim it, you can. It's not necessarily needed. Okay, now while that's out, you're going to want to install okay, so your marker point for this one is going to be right here. Give yourself maybe a 1/16. Good. Then you're going to come around here. That. You're gonna want to install this portion before you move down because, which I'll show you. Go around the handle, tack it just like that. Then you go up here, follow this body line. And this one, I think we'd like to remove this portion. Too easy. This portion up here, I want to say we pull it a certain way. No, I mean I pulled it a little bit, not a lot. That all laid flat. Perfect. Okay, so now this is the trickier part where we have had people email in about some lifting, and I'm just going to do it prematurely. I'm going to make a score line. From this, we've actually made an adjustment. So this will actually be another piece. And it is purely because when this vinyl gets hot, it'll retract, and if you're in a scooped area, it'll want to pop out of there because it'll shrink. So to make sure that doesn't happen for our customers going forward, there's actually a cut all the way across, which has solved all of our issues. But install is the same. You can see all that extra material just kind of shrinks up. And if you have like a vinyl install squeegee, that helps out a lot as well. Boom, okay. So I fed it all into there so it had the most amount of material. in that spot. And you just kind of go back and forth, feeding it down, make sure it's pressed down properly. Now we're gonna post heat it. Man, sometimes I cook my fingers, bro. Toasting them. Very nice. This right here, I kind of stretched it a wee bit. Just be careful not to cut your plastic. That way that tucks nice. Shouldn't have pulled it quite as hard. I'm not cutting, I'm just using the back side of the razor blade. Kind of tuck that in. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's all post heated. Okay, I think we have one more piece here. Nope, we just have, this is our last piece, the top one. Roll down your window, it's easiest. Oh, we'll install this beforehand, and I think we might have one or two miscellaneous small pieces that we'll address. The way that I got this thing out, by the way, when this thing is in, I will always put some sort of knife right here, and you just kind of twist the knife and it pops right up. You have like a plastic removal tool, it makes it a little easier so that if you haven't done this a lot, you don't scratch anything or damage it. I need to install that piece too, but let's use a big one. This is the big one. So what I want to do is work this into the corner as far as I can. Go up to the edge, lock it there, and then I just kind of press it right up against the edge. You'll have to fight it here to go back that way, but there's a reason for that. So you'll want to pull it a little bit and tack it. You might get a little bit of this guy, which we can heat out, and then that's when you'll tack the entire top. And the reason we like that curve is it helps on the front area for it to curve around the back side. So then from here, what I'll do is I'll make sure the top is all set up and ready to go, like this piece. Kind of distribute that guy. Now that that guy is all treated along the back, what you'll do here is pull and wrap around the edge, tack. Pull, you want to release a little bit, pull, tack up to the edge. Pull, tack up to the edge. Not a lot of, just enough to kind of make it flat. It's called glassing the vinyl. And what I'll do right here first is you don't want to heat the entire thing. You kind of want to heat this little section up here, like that, just to where it wants to kind of pull a little bit. And you'll pull down just slightly, just so that you don't get any weird kinks up there. Press down. That's how you install that piece. Now for the rest of it, what we're gonna end up doing is going back and forth, starting from the center, working our way out. Center, working our way out. Center, working our way out. Okay, and this is the portion where if you have something to be able to, ideally a vinyl squeegee, but I'm trying to do one without a vinyl squeegee. So what I would do is I'd press my pencil in there. Good. Press down the rest of it. You see how there's some wavy lines right there? It's very normal. What we'll do now is as you watch those wavy lines, you add a little bit of heat to them. They shrink up, disappear, you add a little bit of pressure, move down here, same thing, add a little bit of heat, a little bit of pressure. Okay, missing one piece. This piece is right here. This is a harder piece to install just because you want to try to get it like fed back into a spot that's a little harder to reach. So I'll use like a blade or something. Just want to get this edge set up properly. Like that. And what you can do if it's a little long in there, you can grab like a little razor, because that's a really hard piece to tuck. So you can trim that out just a little bit. That way you got a little bit of protection now on that portion. Perfect. I think that's all of our pieces. As you can see, the installation and where you place it isn't the end of the world if you feel like it's not in the perfect location, because you can trim things. You can also, if you find a piece that you want to protect a little bit more, there's a lot of extra material here that if it still can look good on your design, you can cut out some of this, even like the center patches, and maybe fill in a spot. Make sure to post heat really well all of our pieces. Make sure you can see a light texture in all the pieces. All of our designs should correlate really well. There are going to be portions, because of the design being 2D and the install being 3D, that maybe these lines won't line up perfectly. But for the most part, I mean, you can see here it's off by maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8. This one's like spot on. But it's not the end of the world. It's impossible to line up a 2D image onto a 3D object and have everything line up perfectly. So this is as close as they're gonna get, especially with the user variation of install. People love our topo. We offer just solid black, which is by far the most popular, because sometimes designs like this can become distracting, but on a company vehicle, it's like the perfect place to advertise when you open your door. Even on my own personal vehicle, no one ever talks about the truck or how cool the truck is. They always are like, oh, what are these? It's the first thing people see when you hop out of the door or hop out of the car. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, this is our 6th gen 4Runner install video. It's gonna talk about all the prep installation for these. If you want to get a set for yourself, head over to the website. The link will be down below. Other than that, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave all the comments, questions down below. You can also email us at support@tacovinyl.com. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.